And welcome to Long Time No See. It is Monday, March 16th. And
Welcome
we are
back.
answering the question, do we discover who we are or keep choosing? All right, we're going to start off with a listener call and then we'll go from there. Phone number to call in is below. Thanks for tuning in. Happy Monday. Here we go.
Hey, it's Haley. I'm calling from the balcony. I wanted to talk about the question, do we discover who we are or do we keep choosing? And I think that we discover who we are through the choices that we make. And the choices that we make help define who we are. So I don't really know that it's one or the other, but they kind of go hand in hand. I don't think it's necessarily fair to totally take the blame off yourself and say like, oh, I'm just discovering who I am, because that totally absolves you from any of the choices that you make or the actions that you do that define who you are as a person. We as people are defined by the actions that we make, so you can't just discover who you are. Just like the choices that you make are what build your future, and it's not just like fate that comes out of nowhere. The choices that you make put you in the positions that you are. How hard you work gets you to where you are. So, anyways, lovely question, and love you all. Make good choices and be a good person. And act the way that you want people to perceive you, and they will.
All right, well, thanks
Yeah,
for calling.
That's
in.
it? I was waiting for one more.
Oh yeah, we all have to wait. Yeah, just be. Are you sure that was the end? Thank you, Haley.
Thanks for calling in, Haley. We're going to cut to Dana.
I want to
And
know
her
what balcony
thoughts.
she's on.
Yeah.
First things first.
Please call in, Haley.
Wait. So, okay. I don't know. Do I respond to everything she said?
You can respond with the standouts for you.
Oh, got it. Okay. I think that who we are. Can you say the question again?
Yes. Do we discover who we are or keep choosing?
Those are the same thing. It's are we born who we are or do we keep?
Do we
discovering?
discover or do we choose who we are?
I think it's two different things.
Yeah, those are two different things for sure.
Wow.
I feel like who we are from a young age, like for me personally, I can only speak in terms of like, I'm rediscovering who I used to be, because who I am in my true essence was like the inner child, the young Dana, the like wild, crazy, vibrant, out there, super silly, super goofy version of myself that like I feel like I lost over the years. I got really disconnected from my true essence and who I really was, like from a young age, through like family dysfunction, through trauma, through dealing with death at a young age, through just like living in this world as a woman and feeling like, you know, all of the societal rules with the patriarchy and whatever. So I don't know. I feel like I'm rediscovering who I am, but who I am was that version of me that existed before all this shit happened.
Do you feel like you're making like an active choice to be choosing to be that person again?
Yes, it's
Versus
so much work.
Is it discovery?
No,
Mhm.
it's I'm actively choosing
Mhm.
to sort of like take the road less traveled. Like I've been 7.5 years sober. I'm like, I feel like sobriety has like led me back to me.
Yeah.
And that's an active choice. Like, would it be so easy to like numb out and like get drunk and like, you know, not deal with the shit that triggers me and hurts me, and that would be so much easier. But that is like the lost version of myself, which I felt like that's why I drank, because I was just like, oh, this is because I was so disconnected from, you know, who I really was. But it is an active choice. It's like, it's not the most exciting choice to make. It's like really daunting, and I feel like it takes a long time. It's like a long process, and obviously like I'm not all the way there, but I feel like I'm, I'm much further along.
That's awesome.
It's
I
both,
start
yeah.
crying. I miss my dad.
Straight
It
tears.
sounds like it's both though. Like you're choosing to rediscover who you always were, which is that fun-loving, like carefree child, right? So like that's who you were as a person, and then you like refound your true self. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like for me it's like all a discovery process where things get revealed and then you decide whether to be like, is this what I want to continue doing? Is this really who I think I am? Or is this something that I need to actively like choose against as a former or alcoholic?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I think
Trudy.
I think
Come on.
Just no. Well, he's enabling
yeah.
it.
I think I'm constantly discovering who I am. I think how I perceive people is I don't know who you are tomorrow. I know who you are right now. Tomorrow, from the time I leave here until tomorrow, 24 hours from now, something could happen that can completely change and warp your perspective. And then the person I meet tomorrow is completely different. So I feel like you're constantly discovering, always. And never think you're making a final choice about who you are as a person until you're on your deathbed. I think you're constantly discovering.
So do you not believe that in there being like a constant true you?
No, I don't.
Huh.
I think that's constantly evolving. Like, who I was in my 20s, I'm definitely not who I'm now in my late 30s, right? And that took discovery. That took me discovering every day, oh, I am capable of this. I am capable of going out and having random conversations with strangers. I'm capable of getting on stage night after night. Those are all things that I had to like consistently discover and tell myself like, oh, this is different. I think there's constants. Like you're constantly either going to do the thing that scares you or you're not. I think those things are constant. But as far as like those things that you do to discover yourself, I think that's always changing.
What else? Is there anything else that you view as constant? Because I feel like even hearing that being constant, I'm hearing it be like, I feel like I've wavered on that even.
Really?
Where I'm like, oh, I'm this person and then I'm not that person and then I'm this person again.
Interesting. I think I'm a textures person. So like there's certain textures of food that I won't put in my mouth. That's a constant, right? I think a constant is
But
That,
From, like,
that doesn't
childhood?
change.
for me. I like my taste buds have changed, but I know there are just certain things like if something's slimy or feels slimy, I don't want to try it. I don't want to like. I'm just not into it. I also think something else that's I think is like generally constant to me is I always want to be the positive person in someone's like me having an interaction with you. I would rather you leave here and it be positive. You'd be like,
But does that go for everybody?
yes. Even
That's crazy.
even if I don't like them, even if like I know
That's
we don't
really
drive.
nice of you.
I always want to like, oh, he was, even if they were like Rob's an asshole, right?
Yeah.
I want them to leave the interaction they have with me. Oh, he wasn't an asshole this time. I always just want to leave a positive thing when I leave the room.
That's a lot.
Is it?
It feels like you don't have because that's the wanting everybody to like you. You know.
Oh,
I
see
don't-
that.
Yeah.
That
Yeah, but
part-
but see that's what you're portraying. I'd rather if
Interesting.
we're not gonna.
yeah,
I'd
for
rather-
sure.
You
I'm
don't
not gonna
click, you
dap
don't
you
click.
up. I'm not gonna.
See,
no.
I think that comes into like, I don't gotta dap you up. If we don't fuck with each other, I don't have to sit there and pretend. But I also don't have to go out of my way to.
But
be
I've seen
malicious.
that. I've seen two people who don't like each other dap each other up.
Really?
Of course.
But that's
course,
also
all the
yeah,
time.
yeah,
Yeah,
But
of course.
But that's also like where we're at. But that's what I'm saying is like
Constantly.
Because
would
they're
rather-
because they're choosing to do that.
yeah,
Because that's the societal thing to do.
right.
I think like.
but I think what I'm saying is like when I enter a space like that,
Yeah.
I don't have to provoke anything.
Yeah.
I can just leave the situation and be like, I was the bigger person.
Yeah, I get that. I don't know. I agree with what the caller said though, that I think you discover who you are through the choices you make.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the big thing is like every day you're given a choice on what to do and you discover who you are, and which also making bad choices helps you discover who you are. And I think that's a very important thing. I think a lot of times we sit there with regret and we think like, oh, I fucked up, whatever. But it's like you have to learn from, you have to fuck up to learn from those things. So you make the choices you make, you deal with it, you sit with it, and you go, okay, like how do I'm discovering who I am from this choice. I don't like that version of me, right? Whatever it is. and you're like, well, how do I change that? And then I think every day you constantly work through those
Yeah.
choices that you do. So I think that's like what she was saying. I do agree with. I think you discover who you are through the choices you make, good and bad.
Right.
And I think that's never ending.
So you're
Yeah,
constantly
what
discovering
is
every
the-
day.
But I don't think you're constantly discovering who you are. I think you're constantly discovering new things about yourself. But I think at your core, you know who you are.
Mm-hmm.
We know who we are, and I think at times it's revealed differently in life, or like through different situations, we're like reminded of who we really are.
Yeah.
And we all slip up, and we're not ourselves. It's
Yeah.
just human nature.
And I think that's
Reacting
what
with
I
emotion.
I think that's what I meant by like constant. We have like the constant things that we know that's what we like or how we're going to interact with it. But I think overall,
Yeah.
yeah, you're through the choices you're making, you are discovering
Yeah.
the version of yourself of who you.
So I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah.
If you run into somebody that you necessarily don't get along with, whatever, and you make the choice, I think the wrong idea is to be like, I'm the bigger person. I think you're just making the choice to just keep it neutral and whatever, because you're like making the choice to be like, I'm not going to let this affect my day. I think
Yeah.
I love you, but I think the idea of like, I'm the bigger person, that's where I'm like, no. It's not about being the bigger person. It's just about deciding to make that choice and be like, okay, like this, I don't know. I don't want this in my life. I don't know what they're going through in their life. I'll say hi, whatever, move on. But I don't think it's necessarily like I'm a bigger person because of it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think it's just I made the choice to not let it negatively affect
Right.
me. Within that, you discover your own inner peace and things like that.
I respect that.
Yeah.
I kind of like Haley said on the call. I mean, the idea that you might. I think people give themselves a lot of benefit of like, I'm a good person and da 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 da. But then once something like, the pavement hits the road, like if you're like, I'm a brave person, I would save somebody if they were drowning, da da da. And then you're actually in that situation and you don't. It's like, well, you're discovering you're not that fucking brave. Like,
Yeah.
you can
Well, anybody
discover
who
it, you
says
can
that out
discover it.
loud,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a great or I'm
Yeah.
a good person is
Not
is
a
not.
good-
yeah,
You're
yeah,
talking
yeah.
into the universe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a good person. It's like,
When you
Yeah.
say things like that, I think you're trying to convince yourself
So,
more than really
yeah.
mean it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Versus just being.
Just
Yeah.
be actions
Yeah.
speak louder than words. You can
just
say it
trying
all
to
day.
white
Yeah.
knuckle it. I'm a good person. I'm a good
Yeah,
person.
Yeah,
I'm a good
yeah,
person.
yeah.
I'm promise I'm a good
Yeah,
person,
yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
I swear.
Yeah.
What makes a person good though?
I think we're all negative at fault. I think I think it's different things. I think even the people you don't like have good qualities about them.
Mhm.
I think there's good in everybody. I think
I think
you
people
make
are
it-
innately good.
yeah, and you
Really?
make it- you
I don't know. I used to think that, and I'm sort of not.
I
Why
think
not?
I
you-
want to hear your thought on that.
well,
Because the way you said it felt like you had you had a
No, it's just a genuine question because everyone's thought of what good is. I mean, like a cholo's thought of what good is versus like an educated person from Harvard thought of good is
yeah,
two different
completely
goods.
I guess it's fair.
and
Mhm.
and everyone's perception is different on what it is. But
Yeah.
like you have I think good. If you're like, is somebody good? I think it like can matter on what you value as being good. Like if being a good person is like, are they, how they I think like a big thing is like how they treat other people and things
Yeah.
like that. And it's like
Mhm.
everybody has their flaws.
Yeah.
And I
well,
think I'm guilty at fault where I really do try to find the good in everybody, even the people
got that.
I maybe necessarily don't get along with,
yeah,
where I like, I'm just kind of like, okay, like they have good about them.
yeah,
Like I think that's important too, and I make that choice to always try and see that.
yeah. I respect that.
I had this conversation with another comic recently, and actually she stopped doing comedy because she's like, the comics are so toxic. I'm like, not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's like she was a successful comic. I mean, she still sort of works in the industry, but she's like, I feel like most people, the majority of people are so selfish and so self-centered. They're not good people.
Mhm.
Everyone is so obsessed with themselves and getting what they want. And they're so programmed into, living in this matrix and getting the things
Mm-hmm.
that make them that people perceive them as successful, or all these things that they want checked. And it's like that doesn't, the good is gone. And like,
Huh.
I mean, it really bummed me out because I think most people are good and I've been burned.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very guarded now. I
Mhm.
used to let people in so easily, and
Mhm.
I've been burned so many times, like so badly by people, that I'm like, I hate that I'm thinking that people are bad. But like that, I mean, I don't know.
Do you
Living in
feel
LA
like
long
the
enough.
badness that comes in people is just like a pure reaction out of like the environment that is like
Yeah.
put them in place for them to react this certain way and like do
That ca-
bad things
that
and
sounds
be
like
shitty.
yeah, that sounds
Because
like
like I feel like I know people who've done shitty things to me, and like it's one of those things where I feel like I hold them less personally responsible in regards to being like, okay, well it's just like, or even I think about the bad things I've done, and I'm like, I was an alcoholic, I had like boundary issues, I had, like there's so many things that like went into any poor decision that it's tough for me to be like, well that's like I was a bad person then. It's more like I did shitty bad things
But it doesn't
because like the
necessarily make you a bad person.
circumstances and everything that led to that moment and me making those decisions and choices at that time were just like I was like set up to fail.
So
Yeah, it's almost like you're traumatized at the time, like, right? It's like we're
Mhm.
all reacting off of the trauma body.
Yeah.
You guys know, like Eckhart Tolle talks about the trauma body.
Yeah.
I think there are absolutely bad people. I think there are people that are just
yeah.
bad and thrive in being bad. I do think when people do bad things, that is the lack of information they have at the time. So, I don't know, you deal with somebody that ghosts you, right? They're doing that.
That
because
would never happen.
they're
Not familiar.
doing
Yeah.
when they ghost or when they leave without an explanation or don't have the emotional intelligence to do that. It's the lack of information they have that have presented
But
in
it's
their
the
life.
limitations.
It's a limitation that they have. Eventually, Jack, you're talking about like when you were an alcoholic, the things that you did, X, Y, and Z. Now you have the information to know not to do X, Y, and Z, right?
Mhm.
So I think it's an informational thing, and what determines whether you're good or bad is whether you choose to adhere to the new information that you have.
Mhm.
I think a lot of people that are bad and do bad things repeatedly have gotten the information. It's a litmus test.
Mhm.
When you are dealing with somebody and you choose to harm them or make a choice that is benefit for yourself and harms them, and then you do that repeatedly, the litmus test was like, I'm going to make this choice and see how I feel about how it does for me. And if this hurts a person, oh well, I can come back and apologize. Now you do that 3 more times after that, your litmus test already told you what was going to happen. So now that you're actively choosing to do that over and over again, you're a bad person. But for somebody that has taken the information, has done that litmus test, and they're like, hey, this time around, when I make this decision, I remember how it made that person feel. I don't want them to feel that way. I'm now going to act differently.
Mhm.
And I think that's the determination between a good person and a bad person.
And do you think that's a discovery process or a choice process?
I think
Discovery.
it's discovery. I think it's
Discovery,
discovery,
then
but then
choice, yeah.
the choice to follow on that discovery.
Yeah.
I mean, you have the choice. We all discover things every day. You have the choice whether or not you want to change your ways, right? If you know you're doing something that's harming people, you have the choice to be like, I need to. And it's not easy, like
Yeah.
by human nature and you're like the way you are for so long.
Human flaw. That's
Human
the
flaw.
problem. Not human
Yeah.
nature.
Not human
Yeah.
nature.
That's why
yeah.
Robot's about to
No,
take
yeah, sorry,
over.
human
now.
flaw.
There's no.
The comics that the comic that left the industry because it was that sounds like a really toxic culture that could be filled with good people. It's sort of like when one bully on the playground starts bullying everyone, like the one kid. But if it was just the 2 normal kids hanging out, they wouldn't bully each other, whatever. So it's just like you're putting yourself into a sort of like toxic environment, especially one like that where everyone does have an agenda, and that agenda is basically themselves.
Yeah.
I want to do this. I want to have this level of success, and then people start being like pretending like, oh, they got that spot, so I didn't get that spot, so now my career is not. It's not a zero-sum game. Like there's all room for all of you to be funny. But there's this quote: a person is smart, like they're calm, cool, and collected, but people are dumb, panicky, and dangerous, and you know it. Like they all do. If you put people in the crowd and like people start freaking out, then everyone's freaking out. But if you have a person there, they can like handle it, think about it, figure out what to do. But if you put people in big groups, then it's all just like, a group think thing.
I'll get it.
It's like
It's
a
just like
herd
swallowing.
mentality.
Yeah, herd mentality,
Yeah,
exactly
yeah,
type of
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
So it's like
Yeah,
if everyone's
she's
being
yeah.
toxic in a certain culture,
Give
then
you-
everyone,
She's just
you
eating
can
your
add a
shit.
good person to it, and the culture doesn't,
I-
become.
It's
you
too
know,
competitive of a culture for it not to be toxic.
Yeah.
You think?
Yeah.
You
I mean, I don't. The only reason I say that is because like I don't know. I feel like the relationships I've cultivated in comedy and being in LA, yeah, I've seen like obviously you see the toxic people and how they
Yeah.
act, and like you choose not to be around them. But I feel like, I don't know, the relationship I have with you, I love celebrating your wins because like you don't see it coming, but it's like it feels good to celebrate it. It feels good to like be out with you at a show or a bar and like have fun.
Yeah.
So it's like, I guess it does come down to choices now that I'm like thinking about this, because like I'm choosing to actively be in spaces with people where it feels good when they get a win. So I don't know. I guess now I'm wavering. Now that I'm like,
It's just a lot of us are assholes by proxy. Like
Yeah.
that's a lot of how our stand up works. And
Yeah.
we just can't help but like most of us are like broken bullies that now you gave us a microphone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
do you
So, like,
think?
you expect that not to be toxic?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But do you think you're a bully?
Yeah, sometimes, yeah.
See, I guess I don't see that side of you. I guess
Yeah.
I don't know. Our relationship's different, and I don't see you as a bully.
Yeah.
And the time I've spent with you, I don't see you as a bully. So it's like I don't know. Maybe that's my discernment issue. Maybe that's something I need to work on. I don't know.
You could be a bully and be nice though. You know what I mean?
I guess you can be bullied to people you don't like, but
I guess my version, I grew up bullying was like also like just you were cool. You know
A
what
form
I mean?
of
Like,
love.
Yeah, form of
Yeah,
love.
okay. that I agree with.
Yeah.
I feel like if I'm not making jokes about you or at you, or we're not in a room like riffing on each other, then our relationship's not real.
I can only imagine like the shit you had to deal with though, because comics are mean.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Because you were talking about comics or your friend
Oh,
that
yeah,
had
yeah,
that shit
yeah.
that she had to deal with, and then
Yeah.
you're talking about not trusting comics and stuff like
No,
that.
I mean, I also think most comics are either like narcissists or have like personality disorders to some extent. And I'm also like, I consider myself a very empathetic person, but it's like there obviously is some narcissism within me that I think, oh my God, everyone needs to
See
look
me.
at me and laugh
Yeah.
at me, and why is this video not performing, and I'm mad today because I'm not viral, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's a level of like, I can say I'm an empath all day, but it's like there's levels I think that we all have of narcissism if you're
Yours is at like
performer.
a 7. Some people got theirs all the way at like a 12.
So-
Do you think that narcissism's a form of insecurity too? Like, do you think like we're all insecure in a certain way that it reflects in decisions?
I feel like everything is basically it all comes down to our trauma, like what you experience at a young age. And I know that word gets like tossed around, and I'm the one who's tossing it around today a lot, but it really does. Yeah, it's like you're insecure because you weren't validated as a kid. Your mom and dad didn't pay attention to you. No one told you like how great you were. So now you're searching for it in every relationship and every friendship.
Some kids are
and-
just there's some kids that have perfect families and they're just good joke writers. Ugh.
I know.
Yeah. So I
We
mean,
don't want that.
actually-
Trauma?
Yeah.
No
So-
trauma?
I
Ugh.
didn't-
I didn't go to prep.
I'm so
school.
scared to ask this question now.
Yeah.
Now that I'm hearing you say it out loud, but like, what's your it for comedy? Like, why are you? Why? What's your why? For everybody. Yeah, because I heard that. and
I
I'm
was
like,
gonna say,
like-
couldn't it be the opposite though, where like when you were a kid in class, you told a joke and the whole class laughed,
that.
and then you're just chasing that feeling, you know?
Yeah.
You were like, oh, this is what can I set up
That
my
could
life
just be
around
like you're
this
not getting
feeling?
that validation at
Yeah,
home.
maybe sure.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
but
think-
like,
Comedy
mean-
could be your mistress, and that happens to a lot
You
of
guys are
guys.
about-
I
They
feel
start
like-
comedy when they're 40. I'm like, oh, this guy's
You guys, I feel like I'm about
got
to get
so much
bullied.
life
I really do
experience,
feel like I'm
Paul.
about to get bullied.
Yeah.
I hate that.
I enjoy stand up. I became a comic because I watched my aunt reenact my dad coming down the steps getting ready for Soul Train. And it was the funniest thing I had ever seen in my entire life up until that point. Like the making fun of the bell bottoms and the blouse that he was wearing, and like the entire floor was hers, and like everybody was crying, laughing.
Yeah.
And it was the first time that I experienced like pure laughter, like with a group of people. And at that moment, I was like, I want to be able to like give people that. When I get on stage, I know I'm talking about like my trials and tribulations, but I want people to feel good when they leave. So it's never been like, I do get the thing of like, oh, my clip's not performing well, what the fuck?
yeah.
But I also don't have the like, y'all need to know that I'm the fucking man. I don't have that. And I feel like I do stand up because that's my thing. Like if there's something, if I die tomorrow, the thing that I was able to offer the planet was that I just like people to be happy and have a good time. So I don't know. I feel like that's lame, but That's my why.
Have you talked to Lenoci about how there's two kinds of comics?
What?
He's like, there's two kinds. There's the ones who come out like, and then the others who are just like, okay, here are my jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true.
Well,
That's
there's
true. Well, there's writers and performers, is how I see
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, if you're a performer, you're like Sebastian. If you're a writer, you're Anthony Jeselnik.
Yes.
Mhm.
I think
Like, ooh.
in Crashing, the Lucas brothers are like, there's two types of comics: the people that were bullies in high school and the people that got bullied.
Bullied.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That.
yeah. I mean,
I was.
we
I
can
was
start
both.
putting. Yeah, we can start
I was
putting
both.
You were both.
comics
That was
into
both.
two
I
days.
was-
Yeah.
You guys were both.
Why am I misreading this?
I was bullied. I bullied it really young. Like, I remember I like put this girl through hell in like first grade.
Okay.
Most people were both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I,
Yeah,
think,
it's
I
like an
think I just
oscillating
did it
thing.
in first grade or
Yeah.
second grade.
Okay.
And then I was maybe third.
I was.
I
was-
6th, 7th, and 8th.
Yeah. I was bullied by the girls in my neighborhood.
The girls.
Yeah. Because I didn't. That's the other thing is like I
That's why you
didn't.
said
The
nice to
girls
women.
said
You
you.
were scared of us.
And honestly,
Just to clarify,
scared
you
of
wa-
them.
yeah.
This
Yeah,
answers so,
I-
this answers
it was
so many
strong.
questions.
Yeah,
about our
yeah,
friendship.
yeah.
but like I don't know. Girls were just mean. Like they were just mean to me. Later, I learned on like when a girl was mean, it was because they like liked you. But like I was always
They
just
beat
like.
the shit out of me.
Yeah,
Is that what
did
happened?
they beat you
No,
up?
I'm talking
Oh,
to you.
me? Oh, no. I never got.
You girls beat me up.
Yes.
I'm not letting girls beat me up.
No, I never got like
Yeah.
physically
Goddamn man.
accosted. I never got like physically accosted. It was always like
A lady?
your
Sure,
shirt's
sure.
stupid. You don't have a neck. Like, I was always getting shit like that.
No neck rob.
Yeah, but I would never.
You were getting girl bullied?
Yeah,
They
bro.
beat you up emotionally?
Yeah, dudes
That's
like
incredible.
if a dude
I mean,
like.
To get mean girled?
I mean, yeah.
I
because
definitely got
women know how to
mean
hit you. They
But
know how to
like
hit you hard
with guys,
words.
any guy that like was like trying to, I fought. Like I would fight, and then
You
I
fought
played
them?
sports.
I didn't fight them.
You didn't fight? Oh, I absolutely
Dude,
fought.
freshman
about
year,
guys
freshman
now.
year of high school, the football team found out I auditioned for Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat, and they all called me gay, so I quit.
Oh no!
And I never acted for like 10 years.
Oh,
That, like,
no,
it's
that's so
two-
sad.
that is
2007. That's what happened. I
Man.
love.
Okay, so
I
that's
grew up.
your
I grew up
end,
doing
yeah.
theater.
That's
I grew up
your
doing
Soul Train
theater, and I
story,
loved
yeah.
it. And then I went to freshman year of high school fall play. I'll never forget it. My friend's girlfriend recorded me auditioning and sent it to the football team. And in the locker room, they all
See?
called me gay, and I quit. It's 2007.
You
that was
quit
like
the football
So
team?
No,
sad.
I quit theater to hang out with football, and now as like an adult, I'm like, I quit hanging out with chicks as a straight guy to hang out with dudes.
Yeah,
I really am
gay.
gay.
That
Like,
is- yeah,
like,
yeah.
That was the gayer thing to do.
that's wild.
Very,
Yeah, no,
very straight of you.
I got bullied by girls in my neighborhood. Rashida is the one that stands out the most.
Fuck you, Rashida.
She's great now, but like
Rashida's just a girl. She's a good bully girl.
she
man.
was like, oh my god, I
It's
wore
like the name out of a Tyler Perry
I wore a
movie.
turtleneck for picture day. I went home and threw my turtlenecks out after, like, put them in the trash. Was crying because of Rashida. Which, honestly, I need it. Like, why am I wearing a turtleneck at age 6? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's ridiculous. So,
Especially when you don't have a neck.
yeah, exactly. That is what she said. She was
You were
like,
six.
why are you wearing a turtleneck and you don't even have a neck? And I'd be like, I do. I remember crying, holding my neck. Like, it's right here. It's like, I don't see it. Like, it was one of those things.
Dude, she got in your brain. Dude.
She
Yeah,
did.
dude. Yeah, she
She
got in
did.
there.
It's I don't know.
That's so funny.
I think like there's a difference between like bullying and like joking around with your boys, and I think like
Yeah.
when you learn that as you get older. Like in college, my nickname in college was Tommy Two Titties because I was fat. They called me Tommy Two Titties for 4 years.
Really?
That's
Yeah.
a good nickname.
I think it's a great nickname, but it was like when I got older, I'm like, oh, they're my boys. That, and then like in high school, you're like, no, they were just mean dudes.
Yeah.
No, but they're good dudes because that's a good nickname.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Tommy Two-Tit Triple T. Like if you'd been Tommy Sweet Tits, you'd be like, guys, doesn't even rhyme.
Mom, yeah.
I'm
And
now
then
thinking-
Tommy Two Titties and Mommy Titchell. They flip my
Now
first.
that you say that, I have to
letters.
tell you.
It's
So when I
good.
used to be chubby as a
Yeah.
kid, and when I went to the pool, they called me Titty Man, and then take the ice packs and make me put it on my chest
Stop.
to make my nipples hard, so they could.
Did
Look
you
my
did
nipples.
you wear a shirt in the pool?
I did.
I wore a shirt in
And
the
then-
pool in the ocean. I
Yep.
used to wear towels around my tits.
Yep.
Like I would see my mom. I'd be like,
And then
oh, I
when
gotta do it that
But
way.
when I lost weight, I made sure I didn't fucking wear a shirt at all for that reason. but I do remember.
That's so fun.
Yeah, I would have designated swimming shirts. I'd call them.
Yeah.
Just black shirts, and then
Yeah.
they just you let the chlorine
Look
take
slimmer in the look slimmer in the ocean.
Finally.
Oh.
Do you guys think that we become our parents over time?
I think certain qualities of our parents. I remember I used to fight with my dad a lot. I remember as a kid one time I was like crying and yelling at him. I was like, I can't wait to be a dad. I'll never be anything like you. And now he's like one of my best
White
friends.
kids are crazy. I would never.
Dude.
I would not. It took like when I turned 16, I tried to kill my. That's a whole nother thing. But I did fight my dad. I did like. I think there's a. I think every man
Who
goes
won?
through this. I did. Cops were called.
Oh,
Nice.
I think there's for young boys going into manhood, we reach that point where we're like, oh, you stop looking at yourself as like little and weak, and you're like, oh, I can like lift stuff now. I'm fighting. I'm gonna fight him. I think we all go through that.
No, I didn't want to beat up my dad.
No, you didn't fight. You didn't
Never
like get
physically
any
fought.
fight.
my dad,
You get there, and then I was right when I was about, and then I just started crying. I couldn't do it.
yeah.
I was
I
in
couldn't
tears.
do it. I just because it's your old man.
Yeah,
I couldn't.
yeah.
Apparently, we're not all right. We beat the shit out of her. We beat the shit out of his dad.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Look, my dad's 87 years old, by the way. I
Oh,
fucked
okay.
him up.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about
no.
Yeah.
I mean, there's stuff that goes into. It's not like I don't know. I wasn't a Columbine kid. There was some stuff that
Jesus.
like went into me finally like I have to do this.
Okay.
Like it was defending family and stuff like that.
Understandable.
Yeah. So there was just stuff that went into it.
So are you hoping your son will beat you up one day? Or?
I'm hoping that I am good enough of a father where I'm not raising him through fear. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering. Star Wars.
Oh, I was gonna say, is that a Rob
No.
What original?
No. But like, yeah,
No, it's actually Jar Jar
I want
Binks.
to raise my kid. Obviously, I want them to be fearful of like doing something wrong, but I don't want them like coming home when I'm
Afraid of you.
afraid of me.
Yeah.
Like I'm home, and like they're like afraid to like come in the house. I don't want that. I remember like when my dad was like at work when I got off school, everything was good. But when I would get home and I saw his car, he had like a Geo. You remember the Geos? The car resembled his face. Like they just looked angry. Like until the lights went up and like looked happy, they always were down and just. I remember seeing that car and be like, "Oh, it's gonna be miserable when I get in the house." Yeah. So
Damn.
One of these? You look like this?
it's the not the hatchback one. It's like
Okay.
He's got to get specific.
Yeah,
I was
it
like,
is- it
first
was
of all, you say your
very-
dad looks
It's
like
actually
a
a
car.
1995 model.
yeah. I remember
Rob
exactly
beating
the
up
car.
a Geo.
Like,
Geostorm? I
Yeah.
haven't heard that name in a long time. It was a Geostorm.
It's a good porn star
it
name
was
too.
white. It was white, and it was a stick shift. It was a 2-door car.
Damn.
Yeah, I remember distinctly. I just remember like riding, like
Rob's father, everyone.
walking home from
Don't
school,
worry, I got it.
and just turning the. That was it.
There
And
he
just
is.
turning the corner and seeing like the headlights and be like, oh, he's so mad today. I forgot what there's like a phrase for things that you give like aren't alive but like they look like faces.
Personification.
There we go.
It's a big word.
Do you think there's a limit to how much a person can change?
I think there's a limit to how much a person's allowing themselves to change.
I agree with that.
I think
Ooh.
people allow themselves there's a limit where they'll allow themselves. I think you can change indefinitely, but I think you can cut yourself off and being like, I don't want to.
Then do you think the idea of a core self is just an excuse to stop evolving?
Define core self.
They're like, this
However you
is
want.
me.
You're like, this is who I am.
This is just who. If someone's just like, this is just who I am. Like, it is who I.
I feel
It's
like
funny
to
'cause
some extent.
If it's a good thing, you'd have no problem with that. Somebody's like, yeah, I don't know what to say. Like I can't litter. I just can't do it. You know, you're like, oh, great, that's their core self. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I get you.
So if it's their core
I
self
hate-
and it's a good thing, you're like, that's great.
I hate that. That's just me bullshit. Because I grew up
Yeah.
with that.
I
I
yeah.
grew up with that. Like you know, your dad's angry all the time. That's just him. I'm like, no, he's just what the fuck? No,
Yeah,
you
yeah, like,
can't
let's
call
not-
dibs on anger. What the fuck? That's crazy.
No,
It's true.
I agree with you on that. But like, yeah, when people are just like, that's my older sister. She was always like, she's so many problems. She's like, this is just who I am. And I'm like, no, like I've talked to my parents about it. I'm like, No, like she makes the choice every day whether she wants to deal with her issues or not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm like,
She's
but
not
she
doing
just
that.
does what he said, and it would piss me off of just like, this is just who I am. And I'm like, but you know that's not good, so
Yeah.
why don't you change to
Change,
do
yeah.
it? Like, you
Yeah.
can evolve.
Why don't you just be someone else?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a 2-part answer to that. I think if you were to talk to me like Baltimore, Rob, I'd be like, no, there's a limit to how somebody can change.
But LA Rob.
But then I moved here, and like
Turn
there's
back, Rob.
things that I'm discovering
Hello,
about
Rob.
myself still,
Hello, Rob.
and like having relationships with people, and like learning that I have more anxiety than I thought I did. I'm very anxious in this setting right now, right? So it's like, no, I don't think there's a limit you can change, because like I'm beyond that. Like I'm beyond what I thought I was capable of.
Yeah, I think it's like I feel like I've like come to terms with just like it's gonna be like you're just like fully a work in progress until the day you die.
Yeah.
That,
And it I think like evolving takes shape in so many things,
Mhm.
and I think like a big one for me was just like unlearning a lot of stuff.
Mhm.
Where it's like even though that feels like a letting go, it is an evolving, like you're changing. It's
Yeah.
just like this is I have to let go of this, or I don't like how I react to this or do stuff like this. How do I stop doing that?
Yeah.
And then there's stuff that I'm like I want to add this to my life because it's something that I like say I cherish. So do I
Yeah.
Yeah.
or not?
Culture sometimes causes you to not change.
And that's what I was gonna.
Yeah.
That's like
Oh,
my
that's
other question
interesting.
was
It does, yeah. Mexican, black people are like, "Oh, you've changed." Like,
How
I
much-
have to. I'm gonna die. If I don't."
Totally.
Yeah. That.
how much of what you choose to be is just a reaction to what your parents or your culture expected of you.
That's also like comics being catty and selfish and whatever. Like, maybe they weren't before, but now they think they have to be to fit in with this. Yeah.
Yeah.
in
It's
the weird
interesting.
Scene.
Oh, this is like when I turned into a big time slut because all my friends were sluts,
It's
and
just
I
like
thought I gotta be a hoe.
Yeah.
Is that
Huh?
the same?
I think
If
so.
That's,
but I
cul-
think
that's
it's just like
culture.
your-
That's
No.
culture.
Hope
I
that
think
comes
that's like
back.
your surroundings
That is-
directly
culture.
influencing.
I feel like it's the culture.
For sure. No,
Yeah,
no, that
yeah,
is
I
your
feel like
surroundings.
it's the culture.
When I
absolutely
moved to
affect-
LA and everyone was slutty and I was a prude and I felt weird about it and I was like, I guess I gotta be slutty, and I hated being slutty so much, but I did it and
Yeah. That sounds more just like almost peer pressure, but like they're not.
But that's like, but
Peer
that's your
pressure
cul- but that's your
sluttiness?
culture.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Well, also it's like
What?
think about it. It's like all the female rappers are like wet pussy, throw your pussy around, open up the holes. You know what I
And
mean?
you're like, I guess I think
no,
I'm
but
doing
it's like,
it.
Okay.
our culture does tell women to
Yeah.
be sluts.
But can I ask you something? You said you were a prude. Do you think like part of you, sure, maybe you were a prude, but like, do you think part of you felt also repressed? And you're like, maybe this is my opportunity to explore.
Yeah, because I wanted to be slut when I was younger, and my sister didn't let me. So then
Culture.
Showed her.
So I was just ready.
Yeah.
He was just waiting there the whole time. You just found the opportunity. You're like,
Uh,
all right, I'm ready.
I agree with the culture thing of what you
Yeah,
said,
of
just because
course.
like Mexican and black people. I mean, there's stuff that like I talk about now when I go back home. My family's still using the F slur, and it's like that's wild to me. Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
But then when I like break it down to them and I would like tell them, it's like they're like, somebody just called me a nigga like 5 days ago. So like, what are we talking about?
Yeah.
I have my thing that I need to be upset about. I can't give a fuck about the other thing.
Mhm.
So culturally, yes, I get what you're saying. That makes sense to me.
I think the family thing is interesting though, because it's like I still catch myself wanting their approval a lot. I say things and do things that are a little bit like out of pocket for me, and I'm like, what was my intention with that? And I question it, and I'm like, oh, I'm still searching for my sister and brother to like approve of me, and it's like it is weird how it slips in, but I feel like for the most part I have gotten so good just like in myself that I don't, because there were so many different things that I felt really weird about like being an adult in my 20s, because I the thought was, oh, what's my sister gonna think, and then the thought was, what's my mom gonna think, and then what's my brother gonna think,
And those
before I
rea-
made any decision.
And I was gonna say those reactions don't feel like a decision at all,
But it's
right?
like
you're
how,
not. This isn't my choice to react like
how
this.
disconnected from myself if I'm going, what's my sister, what's my mom, what's my like. It was not. What
but
do
I mean,
want?
but that's like the thing. It's just like you've been like trained, into having that reaction around your family,
Yeah.
and it just has followed you all this way.
Right.
And then it's like the practice of just like unlearning that.
Right.
And like blaming yourself feels insane because you're like, I never chose to react like this or like search this validation.
Did you guys? I mean, I know we. Did you? You guys are you guys both from California?
Mm-hmm.
What about? I know you guys. I mean, you are, but you didn't live in LA proper, and I know you're not from here, correct?
Connecticut.
Connecticut. So like, the three of us. I know when I got here, I stopped giving a fuck what my family thought, because I'm doing something.
Yeah, welcome to Cali, baby.
Yeah, like it's just like
Yeah.
it's one of those things of I'm doing something they couldn't do
Mm-hmm.
or weren't willing to do. Right? Me, whether I make it or not, me getting up and be like, I'm gonna pack my car up and I'm gonna go chase my dreams.
Mhm.
That is something no one in my family has done. They stayed small, stayed where they were because they were comfortable and it felt safe. So I guess I'm asking you guys, like,
But now you got people back home praying for your downfall.
No, literally.
yeah, I mean,
you know what I mean? Just like,
Yeah.
oh, I hope Rob fails.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
for
buddy.
sure.
Dude,
But
I-
think about it.
Yeah.
If no one in your family has done that and taken that leap to try to follow their dreams, when you make it, you're a mirror to them staying small.
Yeah.
So, like, as much as our family are our supporters, I'm like, I do feel like some of my family are my, like, number one haters.
Really? Shit, I'm the opposite. My family was like very like super supportive.
Really?
Yeah, it's like my friends. I think like people I grew up with, I think are more like that. And like people like when I was bartending and I told them I was moving, like I worked in like a town bar outside Philly.
Mm-hmm.
And I told them I was moving to LA and like to pursue this, they all just started calling me Hollywood. So I saw that small reflection on there where they're like, "Oh, what are you gonna do? Move out there and do comedy and acting?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's probably that's what I'm gonna try and do. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the goal."
Yeah.
And they would be like, "Okay, Hollywood." And I'm like, what's my other choice? To be 75, sitting in this bar at 4:30 every day, drinking Budweiser heavies?
Yeah.
I'm like, that's what you've done every day for the last 40 years.
So interesting.
You
But
didn't
it-
have a Ben Affleck. You needed a Good Will Hunting friend.
I know,
Yeah,
man.
You're like, get out of here.
I have the opposite.
But like, no,
I
my
don't-
parents were that for me. So like, my mom and dad were
Told
like,
you to get the fuck out of here.
yeah, I called.
Really?
I almost moved back to Philly like 2 years ago, and I called my dad, and I was like, "Hey, I think I'm gonna move back." And just like I was between apartments, I was like, "I think I'm just gonna reset for 6 months and just like get my old job back. I'll do comedy in Philly, like it'll be fine." And my dad was on the phone. He's like, "Look, you're an adult. I'm not gonna tell you what to do." He's like, "But I think that would be the dumbest fucking decision you can make." Because he came out here for a weekend and just got to experience like what we do.
Yeah.
And his mind was blown because I remember my dad, when I moved, my dad's like, "I don't know what the fuck you're doing or what's going to happen." He's like, "I'm a civil engineer. I've been a civil engineer for 40 years. Your brother's a civil engineer. Your mom's a nurse." He goes, "You have bigger balls than anybody I've ever met in my life." Because
Yeah.
he's like, "You're going to do it." Now, meanwhile, kids I went to high school with, praying for my downfall, 100%.
Really?
That's what you want.
I
That's
got
what
my
drives
15
you.
I
Dude, I got my
guess-
15 year, I got my 15-year reunion this year. I got to fucking, time's
so-
ticking. I got to pop.
All everybody I either went to high school with that are actually friends, like genuine friends. It was like a whole entire push to get me to leave. Like it was like what you're doing, because at that point I was leaving Baltimore, driving to New York twice a week, driving down to DC, and they're like, go to a state where it matters. Go to a city where it matters. This, like, you're just going to be the man here if that's where your trajectory. And my aunt flat out told me, I don't get your comedy. I don't think you're funny. I don't think you're going to make it. So it's like, I don't know.
Good
I find
lady.
that interesting. I find that interesting. I feel like when your family is used to you being a certain person,
Mhm.
you stepping out of that is the thing that unearths them then.
Was this the Soul Train aunt?
Yes.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
Was she in the outfit?
You're like, this is
No,
your
said
fault.
it.
Yeah,
This
no,
origin story.
I've never. You know what's funny? I probably should like have that conversation with her to let her know she's the reason I'm doing this.
And she
Yeah.
told you not to do it?
She just was like,
She's
she
gonna be like,
just
"I'm
flat
sorry,
out told me,
sweetie."
she was like, I don't get it. Like, I don't think you're funny.
You're like, it's not for you then.
Yeah. But she was just like, I don't see.
You're not my demographic.
She was like, I don't see how you're going to make it. Like, I just don't see how anybody would be into that. And literally, I had came back to Baltimore in the DC area and saw at my 2 headlining shows.
Do you still talk to her?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
she's
I
very
would. I would not.
no, but she's also
I'd be so pissed.
she loves me so much, and her thought is like, I don't want you chasing something that's a pipe dream. But again, that's what I meant about like small mind. Like you,
Yeah.
you're staying small.
Yeah.
So
I mean, she's not wrong. You know, this just sucks.
It
You know what I
does.
mean, it's
Yeah.
chasing your
Yeah.
dream thing's hard,
it's hard.
tough.
but it's worth it.
It
you
is.
know?
Yeah.
It absolutely is. So that is the thing that keeps me going. But like friends back home, they're like, yo,
Well,
you can't move back here.
Yeah, well, like not my friends, but like people I grew up
Oh,
with,
people
and
you
the
grew up
fact,
with?
yeah, that
Yeah.
they see you going to do something and chasing your dream, like you said, like it's so fucking hard. But at the end of the day, it's
Yeah.
like gun to your head. It's like, would you rather be in your
Exactly.
small town? No, it's like I'd rather
Yeah.
fail at this every day for the rest of my life and die than sit at home and then sit on my deathbed and be like, damn, I
Yeah,
probably
but-
should have just kept
yeah.
going.
I had a
At least you know.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And
I
that's
have
and that again, this is a choice we make.
I like that.
We discover who we are by the choices we make. Like we discovered that we're by making the choice to go pursue this,
Yeah.
we discover who we are compared to people that never make that choice and choose something that they necessarily don't want to do.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
they don't want to do what they're doing, but they make that choice and they discover like I have these dreams, but that's all they are dreams.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with where I'm at.
Yeah.
And there's
I-
nothing wrong with that either.
Yeah. I had a friend similar to what you just said, but we were like sitting in a bar. It was like my last week there, and he goes, I can feel the fear. I can feel the apprehension. He's like, what's keeping you here? I was like, I don't know. It's like I was like, I could go out there and just be broke. He's like, are you rich right now? I'm like, nah. He's like, so why don't you go be broke in a city you actually want to be in? So I left the next week. It was like the best feeling in my entire life. It was like very liberating. So you're right. You're right.
If you lost your job, your hobbies, and your memories tomorrow, what part of you would still be there?
Oof, my fucking body, dude. That sucks.
Your job,
the worst
your
part
hobby,
of me.
Wait, your job, your hobbies, and your memory. So you're just a blank person.
Yeah.
But are you?
But what do you
The
mean
question's
by that?
getting at: is there something that's inert to who you are that wouldn't disappear if you're like, I don't remember
It's, the question
everything up until now?
is kind of do you have a soul? Because like even like people, people do like get amnesia.
Yeah.
Just like have no
Yeah.
memories at all.
Yeah.
So you know, yeah. Do you think you have a soul that you're like, oh, I'd still like, you know, like I like classic rock.
Oh,
Still
I
like
could
classic
tell-
rock. Yeah.
I can tell you
And-
right now.
Yeah.
I'd still be a musical theater nerd.
Yeah.
I would still be. Yeah, I would. I'll never get rid of that. That's like my
Yeah.
That's like the thing I've loved since I was a kid was musical theater. I would still love that.
I think for me it's wonderment. I enjoy just being in spaces like I don't know if I go out to lunch by myself on a work break or something, and just being in a space where people are laughing. That I'll always have that, no matter what. I could be sad for months and just go out and just be around people I don't know and hear them having a good time, and I instantly feel better.
I'd still be funny. It'd still be a thing.
I
Can't,
respect
we can't
that.
take that away.
I respect that.
I like that.
I feel like as long as I have nature, I'd be
Cool.
good. Like if I can go to the beach, go to the woods, like be around like like I love little kids.
Yeah.
Like I love animals, little kids. Like I feel like I would just be, I'd be zen as fuck. Yeah, I feel like honestly, I'd probably be happy.
Yeah. I think so too. Who do you feel? Who are you when you're completely alone and nobody's watching? And is that the real you, or is
Oh,
the social
shit.
version of you just as valid?
Oof.
I'm so weird.
Like-
Same.
However weird people perceive me, I'm much weirder.
I think
I-
just most people.
Yeah.
Most people
I
go
talk to
blah, blah,
myself.
blah by
I
themselves.
talk to
They just
myself
do
all day
weird
long.
shit. They just yeah.
What do you
That's
say?
most people.
I don't know. This weird voice came to me while I was driving, and I just came up with character. And I was like, this is like schizo. If no one was here,
Yeah.
like, this is
No,
like
somebody-
schizophrenia.
yeah.
Like, I'm
I
very
gotta tell you.
aware too.
I gotta tell you what my wife told me. She pulled me aside. Everyone does that. Everyone's weird as fuck when they're by
Yeah,
themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
I
swear to
talk
God.
to my dog all day
Oh,
long. I
yeah.
have
Yeah.
conversations with
100%.
him, and he's
Yeah.
like, not responding to the dog.
Yeah.
Your dog's sitting there like lifeless. You're
And
still
I'm like,
going.
yeah, I'm like, "Whoa, Walter, you're mad at me? Why are you mad at me right now? Glaring at me, and he's like, well, you're
We've all done the
so
Walter
weird."
voice. No, but
Yeah.
yeah, everyone. I feel like that's the thing is that we all think we're weirder than we are, but I just feel like that's the one true time we get to be ourselves when no one's around. So everything comes out.
Yeah.
Every thought, every true, you know what I mean? I feel like that's when the true you is, and I feel like most of us are weirder than we think we
Do
are.
you,
Yeah.
when you're alone, do you make sounds?
Yeah.
I I don't.
Make sounds.
Sounds come out from all my body, from
When-
my
Yeah,
butt,
yeah.
all sorts
I
of
mean,
sounds.
like-
Dude, when I'm alone, I'll like have a fart and be like, dude, that was hilarious. Like,
If-
I'm
Yeah.
weird. Like,
See,
I'll
I'm not
fart and
alone.
it's so loud, and I'm like, that's so funny. I wish someone was here.
I have the voice thing.
and that's
she
your wife
says.
right there.
Hallmark of a good
Oh.
relationship.
I don't like. when I could.
You're not talking.
No,
out
I don't
loud?
talk at all. Like if I'm by myself,
What?
I could go 24 hours and never use my voice.
See,
I-
but that's
I'm the
weird.
same-
We're all
I'm the
weird.
Same way.
Are you?
That's a
Yeah.
weird thing.
But I do have
The
full on
internal monologue.
conversations up here.
Yeah.
Oh.
I wonder if the question's different if you were going to be the last person on Earth.
Oof.
Like I alone, I'll go to the gym and like sort of take care of myself. But then if I never had to be in front of other people ever again, I'm like, would I ever trim my beard, or would I ever work out again? Would I go on a run? Like, or am I doing this just to like be in shit? Because it's what you do. You know what I mean? Like if I was ever
well, it
truly
goes
alone.
into just. I think it's also like, is the version of ourselves that feels like it's public and perceived a performance versus
Okay, that's better.
you
Yeah.
home alone?
I think it's like
Depends who's
you're
there.
like insecure because you're like I think we're afraid for like people to get to know the real you or see like a real version of you. I have friends where like I'm like myself around like my oldest friends, around like people I've known for a couple of years, and they don't like not they don't like it,
Yeah.
but it's like I do realize I'm like, oh, I can't like fully be myself around certain people. And
I-
I don't like that. I like being myself. And then it's
yeah.
like, but you feel psycho and you're like, oh my God, I'm so weird because they make me feel weird. But it's like, bro, I'm being myself.
I lost that.
I stopped caring now.
Yeah,
I'm just,
I had
I do
a-
what I want and I'm like, all right, whatever.
I had a friend pass away during an argument.
What with you?
Like
Yeah.
you were having the argument and
we
they
were
passed.
we fought and then we didn't talk for a month and then he died.
Oh, I thought you meant
Oh.
literally like.
Yeah, I thought-
I thought it was like
You
hey,
phrased that
you
so
were-
crazy.
Sorry, let me clarify.
yeah,
He,
you gotta.
Yeah, we were. I
Word.
still to this day cannot tell you what the argument was about, but he was on his bike and he got in an accident, gone.
I'm sorry.
And oh, thanks, okay. But from that moment on, all I kept thinking was like, this motherfucker went to his grave thinking I was mad at him or I hated him.
Mhm.
And from that point on, I made sure. I know I can't be my full self in front of everyone, but I make sure that the people I do bring in my life and in my circle, when I have people over for cookouts, those people that I invite over into my space and in my home, those are the people I will always be 100% myself. Because if something happens to me, I want you to know how I felt about you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I lost that. So it's like now I just make a cutoff. I have a discernment of like who's in my life, and if those people are in my life, you're getting the real version of me.
I can't be wasting time pretending to be someone else.
Yeah.
Even on first dates, I'm just like, look, I do voices. I'm kind of weird.
Yeah.
I don't like this and I like that. I'm just like, what do we do? If
You
and then
business
if you don't
meeting the
like
first
that, don't-
date?
Oh, shit. But that's
So let me
like
tell
the
you.
blessing of being in your 30s.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you get to a point
Which I
where you're
barely
like,
am. Brand new
Are you
girl.
29?
No, I'm 31 now.
Okay,
So
yeah.
barely 30s, yeah.
No, you just get to a point where you're like, who am I performing and conforming for?
yeah.
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 And also, like, I grew up with a mom who was like so many different characters depending on like who was around.
Mm.
Like my friends were like, "Oh my god, you have the coolest mom in the world," and I was like, "Yeah, well, you guys are here."
Yeah.
Like, you should, and then when she what so it's like
Yeah.
I always made a conscious effort to like not be a person. I guess maybe because I do play characters professionally, but like I really feel like I am who I am. Like,
All the time.
yeah, I'm
That's
just
good.
like a little weirder when I'm alone.
And I
It's
thi-
like,
Yeah, you're just toned down.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
I feel like you're just
Yeah.
You're not gonna do the voices for when you're hanging out.
Yeah.
yeah.
I understand. I feel
Unless
like
it's
that's
first
everyone.
date.
I enjoy your voices.
Another question, Jack?
Yeah, I got another question, guys. Have you ever made a choice? I think we touched on this a little earlier, right at the beginning of the conversation, but have you ever made a choice that was out of character and did it make you feel like a stranger, or did it feel like finding a new room in your own house?
Oof.
I do this deliberately. I think part of it's just to fuck with my friends. Like, this is a while ago now, but I went to hot yoga, and then we all hung out that night. They're like, "What'd you do today?" I was like, "I went to hot yoga," and everyone was just like, are you fucking with us? Like, what's going on? I'm like, no, here's a picture. And everyone's like, what? Because that's so profoundly not something I would ever do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, or I'll memorize an entire Lady Gaga song and then just kind of wait for it to come on and then belt out the whole thing. And it's like, if I with my friends, they're like, who are you?
That's
Yeah,
funny.
I get that.
So, but,
Wait,
you know.
that's relatable.
Yeah.
I'm the most honest person ever. I hate when people lie, but I will always stay lying to my friends just to make up a story. So they're like, "Wait, what?"
Oh, really?
But I tell them,
Just
like,
like
yeah,
You lie to them, then you just
Like
tell
you're
them?
doing a bit.
yeah, I lie
Oh,
to them
okay.
to get a reaction. Like, I'll tell them something insane that's
Ah.
totally made up
Yeah.
to get a reaction, and then they're like, "Wait," and it's so weird because it's like. They're like, wait, you're lying to us, and it's like, but I'm like, no, I pranked you.
It's
I
for
love-
YouTube.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
No,
yeah.
I don't know
No,
what it is.
that's
There's
the
a camera
problem, it's
there,
not.
there.
Doing
it's
content
so
shit.
funny.
I just
What a-
love getting a
Off-camera
reaction
content.
out of people, and
You
sometimes
just
it's really
keep telling
dumb.
your friends you're pregnant, and they're like, really? And you're like, no, got it, boom, pranked.
This is so dumb. I was going on a trip with a friend who lived a mile and a half down the road, and we all met at her place, and I always walked to her place. And it was really hot that day. It was 90 degrees, and also I had a suitcase. And I walk in, and I'm like, walked here? And, like, she's like, what? And I was like, yeah, I walked here. And she was like, you walked here? I had, like, a suitcase and a bag. Like, who would walk in 90, like...
That's funny. That
and
is
so
funny.
they were all kind of, like, really weirded out. And I was like, pranked ya. Like, I drove here, and they were just like, this is so weird.
That's too small of a lie. Yeah.
But it's like stuff like that where then that's when I was like, why do I do this? Because I don't like when people lie. I'm kind of
Yeah.
lying.
I mean, I embrace the weird things and tell my friend. Like I took musical improv at UCB, and my friends thought I was kidding, and I was like, no, dude. And like, why are you doing that? I was like, I don't know. It seemed fun.
Mhm.
And they're like, that's weird. And I was
But
like, but I love that.
I like
I was
that
like, I
side
love it,
of you.
dude. I was like, it's fun. Like I'd like.
That's funny.
I'll play like Oklahoma on like the Bluetooth in the house when like my roommates are like just sitting there watching TV and just come out belting like, oh, Oklahoma when the wind. I'll do that because
Yeah.
to me it's like that's my pranking. It's funny,
Yeah.
Right.
But I feel
like-
like that's like a deep comfortability with Discovery.
but it's just like
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
care.
Wait,
Yeah.
what do you mean by that?
Well, if it feels out of character, you're like, I would never do this. This is insane. Why am I doing this? And you're like, you know what? I'm okay approaching this and
Yeah.
doing this thing, even though it's not like me. It doesn't make any sense. This isn't in line with anything that I do, but I'm doing it anyways because whatever.
But I think it's accepting things when you make those choices, you make those discoveries. You're like, no, like I really do like this fucking thing. Like I like this thing I'm doing, and it's like not, you know. And then we get back into the like society of like dudes are like, what do you, like I'm a straight white guy, but I love musical theater, took tap dancing, and every guy's like, what? That's weird. And I'm
Right.
like, but it's funny. Like I love it. Like it's
Yeah.
so fun to me. And I think I made the choice, and through the discovery it was like, oh, like this is who I am. And like I'm gonna put it on for people, and like not everybody's gonna get it, but the ones that do, it's like okay, like that's
Yeah.
different. But I like that about
You
it.
tap dance?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I take that. Yeah,
I like.
take that.
I like.
I've
I've.
learned that.
That's
too.
very
I don't know
That's
why,
very
but like
nice.
I have like this warm feeling right now. I'm like really excited about that. That's like really cool.
Yeah,
It's
people-
so cool.
Yeah, it's again, it like throws people off, but it's like that's like who I am. Like I did theater as a kid. My mom was a theater person, and like I grew up in that. Like the first memory I ever have was going to see West Side Story when I was like 6.
But you're so Philly.
Yeah, that's the thing is like I'm a dude that'll watch the Birds at 1 p.m. and then be like, sorry guys, I gotta go to musical improv now,
It's so
and like go
it's
there.
so dope. Like it's
Yeah.
just the duality of that is amazing.
Yeah,
Never
But
change.
it's just like I think it's like, but it took me a very long time to accept that about myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I buried that deep down inside and was like, that's not what you do. That's
For
not
10
who you.
years.
But longer, where I went to college and played lacrosse, and was like, that's what and I hated it. I didn't like. It was fun. I was a
What?
bro, but it was like I would have
Sucks.
rather been in like I wanted to be in like theater classes or
What the
doing
fuck?
stand up and doing comedy, make people laugh. I
This
didn't want
is
to be
like-
playing lacrosse.
Do you feel like the version of you 10, 15 years ago is like a stranger compared to the you that you are now?
No.
Yeah.
No.
And then do you feel like you have any sort of responsibility to like the version of you that's in 10, 15 years? Or is that just going to be like another stranger to you?
Whoa.
Yes. No to the first one, yes to the second one. No, because who I was 10, 15 years ago was wishing I was this version of me now.
Mhm.
I was very much like, I don't know how I'm going to do it. I don't know the way I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna figure out how to connect with people in a large way.
Mhm.
And whoever that person is, that is who I envision myself in being. Now I'm that person.
Mhm.
And who I hope to be 15 years from now, I owe that responsibility to be that person. So yeah.
I was a gambling addict, so no. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like I was like a huge so I really didn't think I was gonna even approach this. So 15 years ago, me was like a alcoholic, like real impulsive gambler. So now, so I feel like with Discovery, the choice of Discovery, I feel like I am responsible for 15 years from me now.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
No, I think about this a lot because I think about like who I was in my 20s and how I'm just like, I don't recognize that person at all. Just like living with so much fear of just like, I lived with my roommate was like an older person who was like severely controlling of my life. Like that's insane to me. Like when I think about, and it's like,
Just your roommate? It was just.
yeah.
Oh wow.
And it was like, I like didn't date. Mind you, I'm like in my 20s, like in the prime of my life. And I was just like it was like Stockholm syndrome-y
What the fuck?
of like, it was just like the most dysfunctional friendship and dynamic. And it's not like I was like fucking this person or dating this person. It
Was
was
it a
like
guy or a girl?
roommate. Yeah, it was a roommate.
Hmm.
So I think about that and I'm like, I don't even recognize who that person was. Like that's a
'Cause you'd
stranger.
never, yeah, you'd.
That's a total stranger.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So do you feel like, do you anticipate looking at yourself now in 10 to 15 years and feeling the same way?
Ooh.
I don't know the
I don't
answer to
think-
that. It's tough. It's weird because I think about me 10, 15 years ago, so violently different. The same, like weird avenues where there's like the through line where I'm like, okay, that made it through. But then I think about the other stuff and I'm like, that's crazy
Yeah.
to even think about having that much change in 10 years. I'm like,
You were in high school 15 years ago. Oh, in 10 years, yeah.
yeah.
I don't think about the future
Oh,
ever.
Fuck.
It's
The
weird.
the future is another
I-
question we haven't run on the show yet, but is how much fun are we supposed to be having? And so, like, are you borrowing from your
You got
future
this.
self? Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Rob. before
No,
you
I
explode.
love because the both of
Before
these
you explode.
no, these two things like they connected like right away.
Mhm.
I want to say this, like in every age, I wanted to be that age.
Yeah.
There was like when I was like 16, I wasn't like I can't wait to be 18.
Yeah.
I wanted to fuck up in every age and every decade that I was in. So when you're like, I want to have the most fun, whatever I'm supposed to be doing at like 21, I wanted to just be. I'm a 21.
Mhm.
Blackout, baby.
Yeah, like let me just be a fool because I'm gonna have to make up for it when I get to 30. And trust, when I hit 30, I was making up for what I did in my 20s.
Mhm.
So I wanted to experience all of those things. So when you guys said those two things, I was like, oh my god, yeah, 100%.
Well, it's I mean, it's a question of like, how much time do you want to spend, if you don't, hopefully you have some form of exercise you like, but exercising or
Mhm.
working or saving up money when you could just die at any point.
Yeah.
Just drop dead at any
mean,
point. Like
yeah.
life is random like that. And there was a famous ultramarathon runner that got diagnosed with like terminal cancer, and the first question he had to his doctor was, "What did I do all those fucking sit-ups for then?" Like he's in peak performing the best
Yeah.
shape anyone could possibly be in, and he's gonna die, and he's like, I probably would have not run so much if
Yeah.
I knew I was gonna die at 45 instead of 90. you
Yeah.
know? So he's like, I would have spent it with family, doing this, doing that, doing whatever.
Yeah.
So it's
Eating
a really
carbs.
difficult question because also if you have you're introducing a lot of delaying gratification is how you grow in wealth and in happiness, and sitting down and reading a book might be not as much fun as
Scrolling TikTok.
scrolling TikTok.
Brain
Exactly.
rotting, yeah.
But you're helping your future self out there where you're suffering less in the future because you learned everything you learned from the book.
Mhm.
Your eyes don't hurt when you're trying to go to sleep because you're scrolling nothingness, so
Well, it's not nothingness.
Well, yeah.
We're learning.
Just going
I don't know what
you
that's
want to
really
plug your
good for you.
you want to plug your
Spiritual
social media?
account.
Yeah.
They let me know the energetic updates in 2026.
sorry.
I'm not gonna lie.
Spiritual
We follow-
brain rot.
We
Yeah,
follow
yeah.
the same accounts then.
Yeah.
Those tarot readers,
We
man,
do not.
fuck me up.
Yeah.
Oh
Mine's
man.
nothing
So I
but
was still
mine
gambling.
are-
basketball
Yeah.
highlights.
As soon as they start
Mine are
with
like
Aquarius,
old YouTube
you got
videos.
A month coming
Yeah.
up.
I'm just watching like
Not
2006
a
YouTube.
kid.
I'm just watching YouTube
Yeah.
videos from like 2006 and 30
Yeah,
seconds.
mine is vertical clips of entire movies.
Wait, yeah.
Part voiceover it.
12?
Yeah,
By
yeah.
the way, it's giving us
They're like-
dementia.
Yeah.
It is. It's like there's like burning holes in our brain.
Yeah.
It is. It's like
I'm-
doing
I'm-
acid every day.
I blank so long it takes me like a second because I'm like, wait, what was I gonna say? What's that person's name that I've met and have been friends with?
Mhm.
I'm
Yeah.
getting dementia.
It's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I got one last question, and then we can wrap it up. Everyone's been doing such a good job. Thank you.
Yeah, dude. Why do you want to end it? Come on.
All right, if your life was a book, do you feel as if you're the author or the reader trying to interpret what's happening?
Ooh, that's a deep question. That's too deep for me.
Thanks, ChatGPT.
Yeah. The author, the reader, trying to. I think. I don't know. I think I actually now it's an interesting question. Dude, I think I'm the reader. I think I'm trying to understand what it is that's going through. Like I think so much of us, like the author's in control of what's happening. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I've just like through the stuff I've been through in life, I realize like how little control we have.
Yeah.
That I'm now taking the seat where it's like, oh, I have such little control. So let me understand everything. Because I think we try to, because we don't have total control, we try to control everything we can. And I think that's like us reading the book and trying to understand things. And we're like, oh, if I can just get control of this one thing, if I do this one thing, then everything, and it's like, that's never how it's going to play out. So I think now, later in life, like going through things, I'm like taking a step back and trying to understand everything. Myself, my relationships with people, my personal relationship, my career relationship, my love life, like things, and like not writing it, but understanding it. That's for me.
I feel the same way, and I think it's one of those things where I think a lot of people end up reading a book thinking that they're the author, and it makes life excruciating. Because you're like, that wasn't supposed to happen. That wasn't supposed to happen.
Yeah.
No, I need to have it like this. I wanted it like, you want it so bad to, like, you want so bad to be the author. And you're not, though.
You're not.
Interesting. I think I was the reader, and I'm slowly becoming the author.
Interesting.
Okay.
My thought process is that I was reading it, trying to figure it all out, and then I start to realize that every chapter had the same fucking pattern. The only one that's controlling that pattern is me. So
Totally.
if I understand that life is going to be a series of patterns until I learn from the mistake and stop making the same choices over and over again, it's going to keep continuing until the next path opens up. So now I'm trying to become the author. I'm literally trying to like understand, like read the chapter or read the chapters that's written before and like go back and be like, now how are you going to approach this differently? And that is what I'm trying to do.
I think what's so frustrating is we all have the ability to be the author, but we have to overcome ourselves. And that is the hardest part of this game called life. But I do believe it's almost like people say like hacking the matrix, and how people are like, oh, it's a video game. Like there are levels to it. And the more you can understand what's on the page and what you're seeing in front of you, then you can master another level and become the author. So I think like I feel like I'm close. I have moments of being the author, but I feel like there's a lot of things in my life that I'm like, whoa, how did I attract this friendship again? This relationship? Like I'm very confused, like especially with dynamics like with people play out and unfold in conflict. And I'm like, how did I attract? Because I always look at myself, it's all a mirror. How did I attract the situation? What is it here to teach me? And it's like I'm deciphering.
Your guys'
You know?
ego's not big enough. All right. I would be the author. And I don't know anything about anything. I'm just writing a bad book.
It's like indecipherable.
My masterpiece is done. Publish
even
it
give a
now.
I wouldn't even give a fuck. There you go.
No, and I like that. That's why they say like narcissists and sociopaths are like the most successful people in this business because they don't give a fuck shit to look within. They're just like, I'm fucking doing it. I'm doing this. I'm doing this, and they
Yeah,
like,
even
do
making
it.
that joke, it's just clearly a joke. Like if I was really that person, I'd just be there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
But at the same
I'd be
time,
doing it.
I don't know. This is something I admire about you, and this isn't space for me to say it, but like for you to be like, I was a drunk and I was a gambler, right? It took you understanding those were the chapters that were being written for you, and then you're like, no more. And now you're on this path, and that is fully of your own control.
Well, also, I know that I'm an addict, so there is no more. There's no more for now for what I
Right.
can control.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know? So.
But you're trying. And
Yeah,
I think
of course.
that's the
Yeah.
thing that's like, I don't know, I find inspiring, and I think that is
Thank
what
you. I
makes you
appreciate
the
Yeah.
author, is that you
Yeah.
are, while in this space, in this white hot light, you are taking control.
I just figured we're in LA. What are we reading? We're here to create. You know? I don't know.
This isn't an author's. That's New York. New York's for the authors. This is not an author city. I don't think Jane Austen was coming here.
It is funny to think of being both the author and the reader. You're like, write something better, like, but also feels like there's a third writer that's like, car crash, and you're like, oh fuck, you know. Then you feel like the reader when
Yeah.
something out of your control happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not the author. You are the reader. You know,
Yeah.
like that ultramarathon runner. He wasn't like, and then
I get
this, you know?
cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's obviously all those stuff that's out of our control. But you are definitely authoring your future life by I'm gonna make the right decisions today. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go to the gym and eat right instead of eat a bunch of pizza and then sleep shitty and da da da.
Dude, I
So,
talk-
boring
I-
is
come
that
on,
book?
bro.
I know.
I
yeah.
spent
about
$20.
heroin.
I spent
I know,
$20
yeah.
at Taco Bell.
I know.
last
That's
night.
why I'm like
And I felt really good about it.
acid in the desert this
Wait, but
weekend,
it's
you know,
but
like,
it's
whatever.
also how you feel reading the book. We can control how we feel when we read it.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
we can choose
I
to
mean,
be
yeah. So
grateful,
cool.
and we can choose to feel like, okay, I don't need to go down like a negative path about what's in front of me.
Mhm,
Well, that's like the pain is inevitable, but suffering's optional.
Exactly.
Interesting.
I like that.
Is that you? You came up
No,
with
that's
it?
the
Helen
Buddha.
Keller.
I went to Catholic school. I went to Catholic school. We didn't talk about that guy.
No, but that's also Jar
That
Jar
guy
Binks.
didn't exist in Catholicism.
That's also Star Wars.
But
dude.
no, I actually hearing you guys, like, I really like I said, I do, from listening to what you guys say, like thinking, like sit here thinking about it, it is like one of those things where it's like, I am understanding there are some things I'm writing, but I do think I'm also reading it. I think like,
Yeah.
Like
you
a
know,
mixture.
whatever we believe in, I think, especially growing up in like a real religious household, like I think people hold on to faith very much for the unknown, because it's like his plan, not my plan, whole thing. And it's like, I'm the reader, I got to do, but I do think no matter what you believe in, I think you're co-writing with it,
Mm-hmm.
where like these opportunities or things come up in your life and how you react and respond to them, you are co-writing with it. You're reading the situation.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, all right, so now we're writing this together, and what are we going for with this? So listening to you guys, it kind of made me think, it's like, oh, all these things that I didn't understand, I had to be like, I'm the reader, but it's like, oh, but then how I reacted from all these things, I was writing that part too.
Exactly.
So I think it's a little bit of both. I think we're the reader and the author, but not like, I think there's moments and times where we're one or the other, and we have to figure that out. And I think that's how it goes forever.
Yeah. I agree. This was so cool.
All right, great work, everyone.
Thanks,
guys.
Happy
Thanks for doing
Monday.
it.
That's
Monday.
I'm gonna go tell dick jokes on stage. I can't even think. You guys have me. You're thinking too smart. I can't even say dick out loud. Fuck.
We're gonna be doing this live May 18th.
Yes.
It'll
Yeah.
be
It's
gonna be
free
very
in
fun.
the backyard. May
gonna be so
18th,
fun.
everyone. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye, guys. See you next
See you next
Bye.
Monday.